Now, instead of obstructing, the cloud has allowed the sun to pass through, just by a narrow hole. But once the sun has started passing through, the cloud doesn't know what is good for it. Cloud begins to uncloud itself. It doesn't care if it is melting away. All it wants to shine. And the climax is, cloud completely moves away. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmānandaṁ Param Siddham Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvātītam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Lakṣyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatītam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vāsiṣṭha in Upaśama Prakaraṇa, section 11. We are moving a little step back in section 11, that section 10 towards its end. And the topic here is King Janaka practices reflection. This is presented not for the benefit of King Janaka, but for all spiritual seekers. In a storyline, King Janaka happened to listen to songs of the Siddhas as he was entertaining himself in a royal garden. And that turned his mind towards practice of Vicāra, inquiry into who am I, that inspired him to engage his mind for discovering the real self. You must realize that storyline doesn't have to occur exactly in your personality. So don't wait for Siddhas to sing for you. Simple point to understand: as purity develops in your mind, divine inspiration begins to flow. And then those inspiration begins to inspire you to be more involved with several reflective process. Who am I? As a result of his reflections, King Janaka is very close to, rather he has attained enlightenment. And he is presenting his experience. He is talking to his own mind. Let this illusory body continue to perform karmas. I who am the self have nothing to gain or to lose. These are the characteristics of sthita prajna, one who is enlightened. This is, through this topic, you are being given the ideal state of liberation, realization. In that state, body and all its activities. When we talk of body, you must realize we are talking about three bodies. Physical body, subtle body, which contains your intellect, ego, mind, senses, pranas, and causal body, which is deep unconscious, that's the seat of ignorance, and therefore holds all karmas from countless lives. All these three bodies are constantly involved when you are in every stage. If you are seated on a chair, your body is feeling the touch of the chair. It's physical reality. Your emotions, feeling, is fluttering in the air. Your thinking is in many directions. You're remembering the past, imagining the future. And a deeper comprehension develops also behind all this, what you really want to achieve. So all the three bodies are constantly operating, though in a more specialized way. In waking state, your physical body is highlighted. In dream state, your subtle body is highlighted. In deep sleep state, your causal body is highlighted. In practical day-to-day life, all the three are blended. And all these three, and whatever you experience through all the three, is in the realm of Māyā. Just like the sun expresses itself in three stages: in the stage of clouds, in the stage of refractions like rainbows, and in the stage of physical illumination. I'm giving an allegorical way to understand three bodies. But behind all the three bodies, the sun is simply unaffected, completely separate, absolutely real. The three bodies go on changes day by day, moment after moment. But the sun remains just the same. Your reality, the I am, is like the sun. So Ahaṁtā. In the process of enlightenment, it is the mind that has to create a channel to that understanding. Through the mind, you are in the state of bondage. Through the same mind, you will attain enlightenment. But how to work with your mind? Mind, if it is not well directed with satsanga and spiritual culture, then your mind is leading you to the world of what's called praya, world of pleasure. Same mind, nourished by satsanga, introduced to practice of yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, all those subtle modes of jnana, of yoga. Same mind now creates in your inner soul a sense of detachment, vairagya. And ultimately that mind having brought the soul to that state, gradually dissolves. First stage, think of the mind like a cloud that was obstructing the sun. Now, instead of obstructing, cloud has allowed the sun to pass through, just by a narrow hole. But once the sun has started passing through, the cloud doesn't know what is good for it. Cloud begins to uncloud itself. It doesn't care if it is melting away. All it wants to shine. And the climax is, cloud completely moves away. 2 stages. First, it becomes transparent. So, the sun passing through the cloud has no obstruction. That's the Jīvan Mukti state. Then ultimately, cloud is not there. Cloud simply disappears. That's Vicāra Mukti state. Your focus is Jīvan Mukti state. That's where you have to, in life. And Janaka has attained it, and that is his expression now. Let this illusory body continue to perform karmas. I, who am the self, have nothing to gain or to lose. The entire karmic process has no meaning for me. For every reflected sun, changes have to occur. Every change has a meaning. For the sun, all these changes that occur on earth have no meaning for this. The sun is ever perfect, full. The innermost self, the I am, that ultimately it sneaks into your consciousness when you are in deep sleep. Everything moves away from you, and you never come up complaining. What a miserable state. All these wonderful people whom I loved, even I couldn't understand where my bed was. Instead of complaining and coming with a shock, you come with a joyous state of mind. What a wonderful state. I knew nothing. That gives you a subtle point of teaching. That is your real nature. No matter how the world is, the moment you went to sleep, what you are highlighting, I knew nothing. And that is your reality. All this world of experience through the 3 bodies is nothing. But all this experience is progressive. You cannot suddenly attain that height. Sleep comes quickly, that's a different matter. But spiritual attainment is not simple act of sleeping. As progressive movement continues, what happens with every experience? Your experience becomes uplifting experience. You highlight your good feelings. You remember opportunities for serving others and you have served them. And the feeling that you have developed by your good action, that becomes your greater memory than how much money you have gotten, That also is a practical reason. As long as your money you are counting for the sake of others, you must be very clear about it. But what you are really counting upon is your inner experience of being free of worries, of being experiencing internal expansion, and putting more precisely, you are being led by God. Where? Into his God's own personality. You are drawn to God to be melted in God. A reflected sun, where can it go? It climbs up everything, but you can't sit cozy with the sun. It just, I have the sun. Now, very practical experience. I have nothing to gain or to lose. So living your life daily with that type of a sense of sport enters your heart. You don't start cracking your head on the basis of things you loved and they are lost. People break their heads about it. But you realize, just like seasons change, weathers differ, but all that do not disturb the sky. So you are a skylight. You are not dependent upon how things are happening. You are not a kid. So many things have happened. So many great personalities have come and gone. But all that has nothing to do with the self. So, I have nothing to gain or to lose. Simple way to understand. In your dream, you are wandering, you are in great stress. You got a lottery. And you are expecting to get the money. You have just the ticket yet. And suddenly, a mosquito wakes you up. Nothing to gain from that tree, nothing to lose. I do not desire to acquire those objects that have not been attained, nor do I renounce those objects that have been attained. Statement at a deeper level, the deeper level of feeling that if mind is not advanced, in deeper level you hold this type of illusion that previously I was poor, now I'm rich. People didn't recognize me, I'm getting my fans. Soon I will go viral. This type of illusion does not develop if you are moving on the spiritual path with progress, implying no matter how things happen in the world, your physical status, what impacts human mind is gain and loss. When there is a loss, your mind goes into agitation. When it is gain, you think you are enjoying, but actually you have gone into a drunken house. You are elated. So many of your good qualities are delayed. Now, how to handle gain and loss, pleasure and pain? If you are advanced, pain, handle it with turning your mind to God. दुख में सुमिरन सब करे. You have no choice. When pain comes, nobody has to tell you, come to satsang. You have no choice. But when comfortable situation develops in life, no need for it. Dukh mein, in pain, people turn for a spiritual remedy. In pleasure, they feel they don't need to have any remedy. But pleasure is another type of disease, more serious than what pain seems to be. As you move towards enlightenment, you view both with your mind. Pain, yes, come to God and understand the purpose of it. Experiencing pain is for you to learn lesson. What has caused that pain? What type of karma? And how can I correct that karma? And of course, you get higher lesson. Lesson is how to remove mala, etc. And so in pain, your mind turns to austerity. Austerity is not a negative term. It is experiencing love of God in a profound way. And when pleasure comes, you develop more meditative movement. Pleasure has come, mind has nothing, no more problems. Now you say, today I'm going to enter into samadhi because I have no problems. I'll do yoga nidra. Not just nidra, go deeper. So, your positive develops, it inspires you to practice your sadhana. Adversity comes, you have no choice but do sadhana. So both ways, we're not a loser. The only thing, when you have no choice but to do sadhana, don't view it as something being pressured on you. Feel it is an opportunity. I had forgotten many good things. God has got hold of my ears. Abiding in my essential self, I will allow my apparent personality to follow the process of prarabdha karma. Simply points to this fact that if you have attained that level, then now whatever karma is your personality does, you do not give the credit to your ego. Though in practical world, you will use your word, I, yes, I did it. But in your deeper understanding, You are just, who is I? What did? So that type of experience develops. If that has developed, now your karmas are not securing your soul in the world of time and space. Your karmas are no longer limiting your soul. In other words, you are free of karmas. Free of all karmas that are waiting in your unconscious. They all burn up. So light destroys darkness. And this is the last body. That's for the masses. For you, body is nobody. But don't start practicing it suddenly. This is the goal towards which you move. In making affirmation, there is no. You can do that. Sit quiet and bring those great statements of the scriptures. I'm neither body nor mind. I'm Satchidananda. Soham Shivoham Satchidananda Swarupoham. Even with babies, as you cradle the baby, sing. Shuddhosi buddhosi niranjanosi. Sansara Māyā parivarjitosi. Oh baby, you are pure, absolute, taintless, beyond the world of Māyā. Who is listening it? You are all yourself listening it and being inspired. On the other hand, there is an impact on the baby as well, because there is an unconscious movement. Though performing actions in this world, no longer expect any result in the form of illusory conditions and developments. That's the role of karma. Why do you do action? You are expecting things to change. You have planned to go to Hawaii. And now, the moment that sankalpa has entered, your karma starts. You start collecting all the eggs, what called ducks together. Put all the ducks in a row. So every action that you do brings a duck. Which is perfectly normal. But if you are enlightened, you are not dependent upon happenings of this world. That's your goal. And therefore, you don't view in your mind liberation is like gaining something as a result of karma. Not so. Liberation is a revelation of what is already there. Think of in a cinema show. As long as you are watching the show, every moment things are happening, changing. Every moment there is process of becoming. But behind all becomings, the screen is the being, ever the same. The screen-like reality is your real I am. For attaining the screen, nothing of the drama illusion has to work revealing the screen. The screen is not defined by projection. It's beyond projection. Whatever you experience is defined by your karma. And karma causes projection of mind. Therefore, it is like a drama. This screen of Brahman is being covered by projection. In enlightenment, that projection process dissolves. You are not dependent upon anything that you experience on the basis of projection. You are just who are, pure screen. That's a very subtle point that we have to go on working with. It's used in yogic terminology, bhava pratyaya and pratyaya bhava. All your experiences are based upon your awareness that comes on the basis of thought waves of your mind. All you experience is based on mental projection. As long as you are dependent upon mental projection, that's called bhava pratyaya, a world of projections. The reality is where projection itself vanishes. Pratyaya bhava. Pratyaya is projection as abhava, absence. Shiva Vāsiṣṭha continued this section 11. O Rama, having reflected thus within himself, the king engaged himself in the performance of his daily duties, implying that when your mind has come to that level, performing your actions is not contradictory. Rather, sustaining your spiritual insight on the basis of choosing between action and inaction. If you have that problem, you have not reached the height. If you have a joyous heart and good qualities are operating within you, that will increase if you are continue to do work which is in harmony. Say, for example, you have love in your heart. That love blossoms when you do good to others. The idea, let me sit, close my door. Some extent it is good sometimes, but that's not the goal. Though engaged in external activity, the question of activity and inactivity does not create any problem in the advanced mind. Activity has its own. If you don't have activity, your physical body itself will give you so much problem that instead of enjoying the transcendence, you will enjoy hospitality. So being actionless should not be taken literally. Rather, there is a greater inner peace when you are doing the right type of action. And when you are not doing action, you are creating channel for greater inspiration. So both ways, you are active, dynamic. From his inner point of view, he enjoyed the silence of deep sleep, even during his waking state. No matter how busy and dynamic, the inner state of mind is perfectly clear. And you will find Even in ordinary stages, people who are very bright and genius, they do so many things as if they are not doing anything. That's inspirational activity. The inspirational activity gives you the suggestion about intuitional activity. The inspiration becomes much more profound. So at the climax level, inwardly is absolutely calm, as if you are in deep sleep. The deep sleep peace, the deep sleep ananda, that is undisturbed. Again and again he conversed with his own mind in order to further enlighten it. This brought about for inspiring aspirants, how to deal with your mind, how to view your mind. Doesn't mean literally sit back, say, oh mind, don't you mind? I have to talk to you. Coming back to this study, oh fickle mind, this world does not exist for your delight. Therefore endeavor to attain quiescence, where you will perpetually enjoy the bliss of the self. That again, subtle point is perpetually enjoy means allow yourself to dissolve. So it is not the mind to enjoy. O mind, the more you continue to think of objects, all the more will the world process extend. Here is insight into Vishaya Chintan. Mind of the masses is constantly involved with Vishaya Chintan, constantly thinking of objects of the world. Objects mean anything outside of yourself. Your loving relations, your business, your dreams for future, your memories of the past. All this is called Vishaya. It has a wish with it, envenomed. All this leads the soul to repeated embodiments. And all this goes on creating karmas. The more you continue to engage, keep your mind busy with Vishaya Chintan, all the more will the world process extend. But when you renounce the thoughts of objects, the world dissolves into the self. Instead, allow your mind to get the taste of divine love. Your mind is like a kitty cat. God is a divine mother. Kitty cat every day go on after so many rats and mouses and be completely agitated. But get a taste of being cozy with the mother. I'm joking, but sometimes in joke, profound things can be said very easily. Godward movement is a very cozy movement. Suddenly all the pressure over your mind, you find Saranagati, spirit of surrender, the spirit that God is love of your heart. Surrendering to love is sweetest movement. There is no stress. Even in worldly love, you fall for it. See, easy falling. Joking. Worldly love is not always bad. If it is a purpose, then you soar. But all the time implying that love, real love is God's love. So how can that movement be stressful? Just as the dust clouds are unable to taint the sky, so too, were the taints of egoism and sense of possession unable to affect his consciousness. Ahaṁtā, mamatā, that's the big disease for the world process. Bhavavyādhi, disease of the world process. The main characteristics of the disease is sense of egoism. Everything you experience on the basis of inflating your ego. I have done this. I am going to do this. This I, behind the I is three types of desires. Putreshana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana. Putreshana, you want to see your generation continue to remember you. Roads made in your name. Buildings carrying your name. Businesses propagating your name. That's location. Putreshana, having children, grandchildren, keeping up your line. Vitteshana, having a lot of money. So ego-based movement goes after these three fingers. That Ahaṁtā is the active aspect of ignorance. If you want to remove ignorance, this Ahaṁtā has to be sublimated. But Ahaṁtā, shadow of Ahaṁtā is mamatā. Whenever there is ego, there is sense of mineness. Certain things appear mine because you see your own reflection. Why? Due to illusion, your vasana polishes the object. And when the object is polished, you can see your face in it. Mind develops an illusion. This is the object I want. Once that illusion has developed, your vasana has changed the object. Now what you are looking in it, your own face, and you like it. So, objects that are desired by people, they don't have the unchanging characteristic of desirability. Objects don't hold anything that can be desired by always, no matter how great the object. Some will desire it, some will not desire it. Some, having desired it for a while, goes against it. And that goes on because source of joy is not outside. It has to be discovered in your heart. Ahaṁtā, mamatā. In Puranas, in scriptures, they great demons play the role of Ahaṁtā and mamatā. Like in the Devi Puja, we have Shumbha and Nishumbha, two great demons. Goddess Saraswati caused their destruction. not having anything to accept or to reject. Again reminding you, this is not meant for you to take it literally. You have to hold that ideal, you have to grow in. Otherwise, you will go back and the family person gives you something, tea or something, say, nothing to accept, nothing to reject. I will lighted by something. So then become a kid. In a practical world, every precision, you have to accept things of value while you eat, while you keep company, while you do your act. In any project, you must know the values. What helps you, what doesn't help you, what benefits you, what doesn't benefit you. But while handling all this, not let your heart be shaken. Your heart has God within it. So God is handling all this. Just give a slap to the ego. A soft slap. He was ever balanced, no longer tormented by the sentiments of elation and grief. He experienced unceasing felicity. Purnamada, I am full, no longer foolish with the word process. He did not dream of the future, nor did he indulge in the memories of the past. That's what human mind is constantly busy dreaming of the future. When will I go to Miami Beach? I passed my retired days watching these settings. All the dream of future has no meaning for it. And all the memories of the past, again, are unnecessarily opening a door to a big swarm of mosquitoes. Transcending the illusion of names and forms, he continued to perform his duties with an awareness of being in the present. Even the present term here is more figurative. When time illusion moves away, then that's the present, the eternal now. But in order to reach that, at the earliest stage, allow your mind not to go back to the past, nor to the future. Stay with the moment. But that moment will also move away when you go deep, as if you are falling asleep. That's why the Devi who brings this about, called Kālarātri. Kala is time. She who puts an end to time. O Rama, it is due to the subtle desires of the mind that a person turns to the past, expects a future, or is driven to indulge in the present. Desire-based mind lives in the world of time. So you have nothing more real for you to do than to age. Every day you become older, at least one day older. Not older. lift the veil of time, then the question of your being older or younger doesn't arise. You are eternal, ageless. When the vasanas, subtle desires of the mind, are annihilated by intuitional knowledge of the self, a sage becomes free from the three periods of time: past, present, and future. Timeless. And that timeless state does not disturb your activity in time. You will not miss, and do not develop the habit of coming late to every. That develops more precision. Yoga karma sukausalam, and it becomes spontaneous. So long as intuition has not been realized, one must continue to practice spiritual inquiry until the consummation of all thought processes is attained. Means all thought processes become quiet. Mind itself dissolves. This ocean of the world abounds with the waves of misery. They are called Ūrmi, not Ūrmilā. And there are 6 Ūrmis: Janma Maran, birth and death, Shudha Pipasa, hunger and thirst, Harsh Shok, joy and sorrow. These are the Ūrmis. And you are constantly tossed by the Ūrmis of this world process like the ocean. And you are moving with waves constant. Birth, death, wave. Harsh, shok, joy and sorrow. And every day, hunger and thirst. If mind becomes devotional, then this Ūrmi becomes Ūrmilā. Even while this goes on, your soul enjoys cozy relation with God. Cozier. Intuitive wisdom is the only way to the cessation of all misery, which means self-realization, which is a direct revelation, not an intellectual theory, but it is. You are going to sleep intellectually, you have prepared everything, I'm going. But when you actually sleep, you don't even know when did you fall asleep. So you see the difference between the intellect level and real experience. And with this I will conclude. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.